Hey guys, today we're going to do something really different. We're going to take some strings, 10 gauge strings, the most popular selling gauge strings in electric guitar, and we're going to put them on a guitar, just the high string, the 10 gauge, and take brands like Cleartone, Elixir, Addario, Addario EXL, Ernie Ball Cobalt, Fender Bullets, GHS Boomers, and DRs, and we're going to see if we put it on a guitar, tune it to pitch, and then tune it past pitch, how far past pitch does each string break? In other words, at this point, using just a core wire, not wrapping, not any kind of manipulation, does each string really warrant a better quality string? In other words, is there a little bit of alchemy going on? Do they mix in a little bit of magic in there or not? So what we're going to do, I know it's not really scientific, it's just really for fun, is put them on this guitar and tune them to pitch. So let's see what happens. Okay, so I've installed the string. We have not stretched the string out at all. We're going to start tuning it and seeing how high we are. We're on E right now. And again, we're not going to be super picky. We just want to be somewhere close on E. Here we go. F. F sharp. G. G sharp, A, snapped at A. So clear tones, snaps at A. So now we're doing the Dunlop 10s. So same thing as before, let's make sure that I'm gonna move that right there so you can see it. Here we go. We're at E, let's start tuning. F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A, snapped at A. So Dunlop snaps at A. Okay, now we're going to do the Elixir 10s. We are at E, and let's start tuning. Here we go, ready? E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A, A sharp. It actually took a little bit more to snap it. Just a little bit more. Oh, you think it has to do with the clear coat? It could be the clear coat. That's crazy, right? Okay, so next up, we're going to do the Fender 10 bullets, and I want to show you this so you can see that it is physically looks like a bullet, right? So that's supposed to help it slide into the cylinder of the Strat, and the reason I wanted you to see that was so you knew what was different about the shape of the barrel, you know, the bullet versus the ring. So let's go ahead and string it up and we'll do the test. All right, so we have the Fender bullet on there now. So let's go ahead and start the process. We're at E. Let's start tuning. E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. Snapped at A, almost on the dot. So, all right, A for Fender bullets. Okay, so this is the Dario EXL. These, I want to read this real fast. It says, on the package, it says, strings will bend further, sing louder, and stay in tune better. So let's see. Okay, so we're at E, basically. Let's go ahead and go. We're at F. F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp. So it actually snapped almost at the same exact point where Elixir did. So, and you know what's funny to me is where they snap. They keep snapping at different places. So in this case, this snapped at the tuner, where the other two just before it snapped at the bridge, right? So it is different that way. Now we have the Ernie Ball Cobalt. We are at E. Let's start tuning. We're at F sharp. We're at G. We're at G sharp. We're at A. Snaps at A. And snap from, oh, it snapped from not only like the top, but it like snapped actually from like the nut. It snapped at the nut. If you guys can see this in the camera, it actually broke at the nut. So one thing that's cool is they're breaking at different places, so I'm pretty sure we don't have any burrs or anything to worry about. I've checked them, but obviously that's what we want, is we want them to break at different spots. Guys, now we're gonna do DR. These are DR tight fits. We are at E, let's start going. We're at F, F sharp, G, G, snaps at G. And you can tell it actually stretched out and snapped. It's almost, it's the same length. I can still touch the tuning key basically. So it just stretched apart. All right, DR. All right, guys, we have the Ernie Ball custom gauge 10 gauge string. We are at about E. Here we go. F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A, snapped. It was barely at A and it snapped. So barely at A and snapped. You know, and they're snapping at the same spot. They're snapping, like I said, not where the tuning key is, right? So it's somewhere in the headstock area, and then some at the bottom. So now we have a 10 gauge GHS Boomer, GHS Boomer. We're at E. Here we go. F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A, almost A sharp. It was almost. So GHS Boomer, almost A sharp. Guys, last one. We have the Addario EXL 110 10 gauge string, and we're at E. Oh, wrong way. Sorry, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. That was basically almost A sharp. So again, it took a little bit more abuse than the others. So that was pretty good. Actually, I think it did as good as the Addario EXL or whatever, whatever, NY. Yeah, the good as the NYXL. I think they are the same in the way that they broke. This is a Addario 9 gauge string. So I put a 9 on there. We have it at E. We have F. We have F sharp. We have G. We have G sharp. We have A. And so it breaks no matter what. That was a 9 gauge, broke same as the 10. It wasn't even any different.
So what did I learn from this? Well, again, this was just for fun, and what I learned was actually what I predicted came true this time. I predicted all of them to break about the same, and that's what they did. And the interesting thing about that was I kind of took it as like almost like fishing line, 10-pound test, 20-pound test. Like the manufacturers set the tensile strength of the string, and they just stick to that, regardless of what their rhetoric said. Now, the reason I'm not picking on any brands, I'm not accusing of anybody of anything, but I will say this. I didn't feel like strings that were twice the price were more durable. Now, again, we only talk about the high E string, but the high E string is the string we break the most. I see guitar players break it the most, and I know the other issue is mostly guitar players don't worry about breaking, they worry about when the strings go dead. This doesn't solve or doesn't testify to that issue. We'll have to do something else to figure out that. But what we learned is that strings as a whole, you know, you're probably safe with whatever you pick for when it comes to durability. Now, we did do a low string test, so you know, but we broke the tuning key the second time in. So I'll have to rethink how we do that. That was a lot of tension, and actually, believe it or not, the low strings went further up in pitch before they broke, but then they eventually broke the tuning key. So the high strings is where we're going to stay today. And as always, thank you for your time and know your gear.